Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show tonight here on Herb FM on StreamYard. I'm Chris Heidel. That's Steve Zulich. George Bashira will not be joining us. He had something to do, a family situation. We'll have him join us probably next week. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're doing something totally different. Last week we did the championship week of college basketball. This week we're going to do some high school sports with high school baseball. Tonight we have some great guests lining up. We have a former Baltimore Oriole, Larry Sheets, will be joining us. He's the head coach now, the manager of the Gilman School, the Greyhounds. He's down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, so we'll be joining him around 8:05 tonight. So let's look at what's coming up here in shortly at 7:35. MichaelNaunton, the head varsity baseball coach of Our Lady Mount Carmel here in Maryland, will be joining us at 7:35, and then we'll just take a little break in baseball. We'll go to some men's lacrosse. BryanKelly, who is not the BryanKelly of Notre Dame or LSU, the other BryanKelly, who is here in Maryland, the CalvertHall men's lacrosse coach. They played Hereford High School here in Maryland today. We'll talk to him around 7:47 tonight to see how everything went down today. Basically, a big week of basketball coming up here for the folks here in the Mid-Atlantic. If you are a big basketball nut, the NCAA tournament starts off starting right now as we speak with the first four out there in Dayton, Ohio. Our folks at Towson University, basically, they are on the road tonight, heading down to the Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They're practicing yesterday. They're going to take on Wake Forest in the first round of the NIT tomorrow night on ESPN Plus at 7:00. And speaking of that, we're going to do a special show tomorrow afternoon as we speak. Let's bring it up here. Special show tomorrow. Pat Scarry from Towson will be joining me live from the telephone down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where Wake Forest is located. He'll be on at 4:20. We'll get you guys ready for this week's local NCAA teams, like Delaware, men's and women's team are playing in the NCAA tournament. One's playing their rival in the men's side, Villanova, Steve, and the other one's playing the Lady Terps down in College Park.
Interesting, both teams playing at the same time, playing rivalry games. That's interesting.
Yeah. So speaking of Delaware, they'll be in Pittsburgh Friday afternoon at 2:45. You can watch that game on CBS here in Maryland or in Newark. You can actually tune in to see how they take on a very good Villanova squad. That's from last week. They won the CAA Men's Championship. They're in D.C. First time they've won the CAA since 2014. So they move on to the NCAA tournament, and the folks in Newark are very happy because they got some postseason basketball. So
that's a good break for them before baseball starts.
Yeah, and
which starts Thursday.
Yeah, speaking of Thursday, baseball will be back after this time last week. We were talking on the air if we were even going to have a season of Major League Baseball.
And many of us were skeptical we weren't.
Yeah, some of them we think we're going to have it in June or July or whenever they feel like getting around. So, but sometime Thursday afternoon of last week or something like that, you see a message from Jeff Paxton from ESPN saying the lockout is over. And baseball starts on St. Paddy's Day this coming Thursday with two games, one in Florida between the Red Sox and Twinkies, or the Twins. When I was a kid, they called them Twinkies. And then out in Arizona, the White Sox and Cubs doing their annual spring training game. Like the Mets and Yankees normally do that too sometimes, but this year with the schedule so short, they're not playing each other this year in spring training.
So I'm gonna wait till the regular season.
Yes, and that's the battle of the Subway Series. That'll be out in I think first installment is before I think July 4th. That's the first installment. Tonight on the Professional Bowlers Tour, if you are going to tune over to Fox Sports 1, or please stay here. We'd love to have you. But if you want to go and watch the Professional Bowlers Tour, this is the top 5 for this evening, with E.J. Tackett taking on Belmo in the first match, and then Tommy Jones is looking for his first title of the year after the first 3 tournaments he's been on TV. He's been really struggling with the lanes.
Yeah, I was watching some of the show last night, and it was an interesting one to see Jason Belmonte, who in the second match made a 3-4-7 split conversion, whereas the frame earlier before that, his opponent made a 4-7-9-10 split.
Yeah, it's really very interesting with the different lane patterns for that tournament out there in Milwaukee.
And an interesting thing, Chris, with the PBA Scorpion pattern, I've actually experienced some play on that pattern.
I was going to ask you about that because Nicole and I were watching it this past weekend on Sunday on Fox Sports 1, and we were wondering, you did the experience thing. And we were just wondering, I was going to ask you about it. What was the easiest pattern for you, and which one was the hardest?
Of the
pattern?
original 5, the cheetah, chameleon, viper, scorpion, and shark. The shark was the easiest because it's the longest. It goes 44 feet down with another 16 feet before you get to the pin deck. So you're basically throwing a hard outside shot down the right side, or hard outside left if you're a lefty, and having the ball hook hard on the back end. And the one that gave me the most problem was the cheetah pattern, which only goes 32 feet down the lane and is the shortest of the 5.
Wow.
Where you really have to put a lot of speed behind the ball. You have to throw. You're almost standing left side, third arrow on the left side, and throwing out to almost the first arrow on the right.
Right.
Out to about boards 1 or 2, or sometimes even far in as 4, and throwing a lot of speed behind the ball to get it to come back to the pocket.
Yeah, we're waiting for the Mount Carmel School baseball coach, Coach MichaelNaunton, to join us. We do have a cancellation. The coach from Archbishop Curley, JoeGaeta, JoeGaeta. Thank you for helping me with that. Is stuck in D.C. with the bus broken down.
Oh no! That's not a good place to have a breakdown.
So I don't think he's going to be home just in time, but we'll get him on for next week. It's not a big deal. We'll get him on. We'll make some time to get him on because we totally understand what happens with buses and and
it's like
schools,
I say, man, you got to take care of your iron, and we'll take care of you.
Exactly. So let's bring in the head coach of Mount Carmel's baseball. Let's bring him in. Hey, Coach Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming on. How was? Did you guys play today? Or
no, that was a great day for practice. We were able to really break down a lot of fundamentals and work on a lot of different things without shivering and being wet and all that stuff.
Yeah. So let's talk about the season so far. How are you guys doing?
We're 0-2. We lost our first game to Calvert Hall. They're obviously a very good team and a much deeper team than we are currently. Then yesterday we were in the middle of a close game with Chen at Blandair Park when the field rental ran out and another group was ready to come on. So we only got through 5 innings. So a little disappointed we didn't get our last 2 at bats. It was a close game. And we had the top of our order coming up. So, but it's been great to be able to get out and play twice and get ready for our conference.
That's cool. Steve, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect weather for baseball today. And talk about your feelings a little bit now that the MLB lockout is finally over. How excited are you to not only have high school baseball, but now to actually have professional baseball this year?
Well, I mean, I'm a lifetime O's fan, so there's nothing like a nice warm evening at Camden Yards with friends and family. So it's exciting to see the Orioles. I appreciate the process that they're going through, and I appreciate looking at the minors and seeing how that's building up, and gives me hope for a big celebration in a few years as we've all gone through this. But really, too, just been able to watch some college baseball on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and following some of our players in college and so forth. And so it's good to do.
Yeah. You were saying yesterday the field, you guys ran out of time on the field, your player rental. I have never heard that before. I thought they would have been like, hold on, let's get the high school kids done first, and then, we'll play a little bit later. But I guess there's no lights there, right?
Well, there were lights, but there was another high school game after us, and the park had a drop dead time for the park to close. And the other schools were really willing to work with us, but they were told that they couldn't be extended. So it's all good. We got 2 hours of baseball in yesterday when it snowed and freezing rain on Saturday.
Yeah, that must have been fun on Saturday and Sunday, trying to get all that garbage off the field. It's like I'm done with it. I'm glad it's like we got 70-degree weather tomorrow, and it's back in springtime baseball. That's a good thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll be at Key School in Annapolis tomorrow.
Oh, that's cool. So I was trying to find your schedule, but I guess the schedule person, somebody didn't put the schedule out. Do you guys do a lot because right now some teams are on spring break, some of them are not on spring break. I know Coach Sheets is on spring break, but he's down in North Carolina with his team. Do you guys do any like going south, for or do you have the budget for that?
Well, it's funny. We were actually in Myrtle Beach taking infield practice, getting ready for a game in 2020 when my athletic director called me and said, when you guys get back on Sunday, school's going to be closed for 2 weeks. So we do have the opportunities to do that. We're a Catholic school, so we take spring break at at Easter. So our spring break will be a little bit more in the month of April. But we do try to travel south when we can. It just didn't seem wise to raise a lot of money and put out a lot of money with the uncertainty that we were still in the fall. So that's our hope is to travel back to Myrtle Beach next spring.
That's cool. Yeah, I never been to Myrtle Beach, but I heard it's very nice and warm around May. That's all I know about. My parents went down there on vacation, and somehow it's always warm. And it's like actually warmer than where we are. And it's like, wow. I was like, that's only in South Carolina. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So just talk about this week. This week you guys are playing. And let's talk about this conference, the Maryland, the MIAA. You got JohnCarroll, got Calvert Hall, got you guys. It basically seems like every week you guys play a very tough schedule. Is he frozen? Michael, can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Michael?
I think he froze. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, he froze. We'll get him back on in a minute here, folks. Speaking of baseball, tomorrow on Saturday, the Mets will be taking on the Washington Nationals down there in Palm Beach, Florida, West Palm Beach. So it's
you're going to be sitting on the sofa with a bowl of popcorn, right, for that one.
Well, the Mets have a good pitching staff. We have what's his name? Jacob deGrom and Matt Scherzer. So let's bring in Coach Naunton here. Hey, Coach Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sometimes the internet. Sometimes you love technology. Sometimes you get off and you're like, really? Yeah. Yeah. But I'm just saying about the league. You guys have Calvert Hall, JohnCarroll, because I have family up in Hartford County, and then you guys. It seems like this league is always competitive, even in baseball, even as you see in the football season.
Yeah, we compete in the B conference of the MIAA, which is a very strong conference of itself. We compete against Boys Latin, McDonough, St. Paul's, Glenelg Country, St. Vincent Pallotti, Gerstel, and it's 12 of us in the league. It's a very competitive league. Each school. I think the biggest difference between the A and the B conference is the pitching depth. Each team tends to have a really good pitcher or two, and but we're a young team this year. We're looking to get better each week, and hopefully peak at the right time.
Yeah. So, what's your goals for your squad this year? What's your goals for you guys? I know everybody wants to win a championship. They want to go in the postseason, playing be very far in the in the state playoffs. So is that one of those goals for you guys?
I want to be playing meaningful games in May. I want to play meaningful games in May. Like I said, we're a young team. We're going to make some silly mistakes. We're going to have to improve. To sit here and make championship proclamations is not realistic. But if we can play meaningful games in May and work our way into the playoffs, I believe we have some good players that in a short playoff tournament we can do some things, but we got to get to playing those meaningful games in May.
Yeah. So tomorrow you have a game tomorrow at 4:00. That at the Key High School, right? It's Key High School. Where is that located for people who want to go and watch you guys?
They play. They have a campus at it's called Fusco Park. It's pretty much right where 97 and 50 come together.
Okay.
The exciting thing for us is we're going to have senior Kevin Chania pitching for us. Kevin receives an offer from Norfolk State today, so we're excited for him. He's going to get to go to college and extend his education and his playing career. So that's real exciting. That'll be our fourth player in 3 years to go Division I. So for a small school of 100 boys, I'm really proud of our guys.
And then that makes you happy because you're a coach. Plus, you're also a principal and you run the school. So basically, you help out with the school in the daytime. You're the principal, and in the evening, you're the coach. So it's like you're really happy to get them to go to college and their education. And on the other hand, they're going down for their sports and hopefully be one day drafted in the major leagues. You never know.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, I'm really proud of them all. They work hard in the day, and they go through and the sad thing about having me as their coach is I have access to their grades at all times. So they'll get a random text in the evening that if I notice they're missing an assignment or something for them to catch up. But it works out in the end. We got a really good group of guys. They're really working hard, and they're fun to be around. They get to see a different side of me, and I get to see a different side of them.
I think that's pretty cool. You can actually call them up and say, "Hey, you got to finish your English test today." And then they can't play the old game like, "Coach, I turned it in the other day, and why the teacher didn't grade it?" The old fashioned, like when you were in school, try to
right exactly.
No, it's not going to happen.
So it's hard for them at times being playing for me because of my position.
Mm-hmm.
But it works out in the long run. There's benefits to it as well. Yeah. We catch them before they sink, and it's a good relationship.
That's great. Well, Coach, let me let you go. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll keep in touch with you, and we'll try to catch up with you in the middle of May or begin before May and see how you guys are doing.
That'd be awesome. I appreciate the time. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Have a great evening.
You too.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, that's Coach MichaelNaunton, the head coach at Mount Carmel High School, where our friend Matt Giaconelli, who was a teacher there for a year or so, until they told him to
go bye-byes.
Walk on by. So anyway, if you want to go see Mount Carmel tomorrow, they play at Fusco Athletic Park right off of 695 and
where 97 and 50 come together.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's all the way down past Bowie, pretty much. Before it's Route 3 and all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Down that way. Right where 97 splits into 50.
Yeah. So hopefully, folks, if you want to watch some good high school baseball, if you're in that area,
you can see the lights from the stadium from the road.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Coming up at 8:05 here on the program, we got former Oriole Larry Sheets. We got to do some little throwback there. This is 1986. A little home run against the Seattle Mariners to beat the Mariners there in that game against the Orioles won it. And we're not going to ask him about all his round trippers, but he does have a son who is playing for the Chicago White Sox right now.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll talk to him about his son getting ready for his first spring training as a 40-man roster player. So that's going to be pretty cool. So Larry Sheets will be live by phone at 8:05. The head coach at Gilman School. So we're waiting for the head coach of Calvert Hall's men's lacrosse team. Today they said they didn't put them on the schedule here. They had a non-conference game against Hereford High School right down the road here where we live, where the home office here of Herb FM Sports Radio is here on the other side of Boulder County. We do have power. Just want to let you know. A lot of people, like my father, always says, like, you're on the other side of the woods. Yes, Dad.
Other side of the woods.
Yeah, it's always on the other side. So we're waiting for him. Before we wait for the coach Kelly joining us, sad news to report here. If you were a WWE fan, who Steve and I were when we were kids in high school, we used to watch this guy a lot on Monday Night Raw and Nitro and all that stuff.
WCW Nitro.
Yeah. So Scott Hall passed away yesterday due to complications of hip surgery, and plus you told me off the air before we came on he had a series of heart attacks. So I guess a lot of stuff, but that was Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, will be joining, who passed away yesterday. And Scott Kevin Nash was his best friend, so we that's a little they did a little tribute last night on this is on it was showed on WWE last night. So so it's pretty sad. It's just people, they come and go. As you idolize people, your heroes are just like you and me. It's just buddy.
Yeah, well, we're starting to reach a time and period in life where life stops giving us things and begins to take them away. You take one day for granted.
Right.
Every day for granted.
Exactly. On this date in 1988, the St. Louis Cardinals football team said adios, amigo, to the city of St. Louis. They went to the beautiful desert. They became the Phoenix Cardinals, and now they're the Arizona Cardinals. So
make more sense to call them the Arizona Cardinals rather than Phoenix Cardinals.
They called them Phoenix in the first 10, 15 years, and then they played in Tempe. That's not Phoenix. Okay. I've been to Scottsdale. So so they've been this on this date in 1988. The Phoenix Cardinals.
I was a wee lad at 7 years old on that day.
Yes, and then also on this date in 1999, some guy named Bruce Springsteen got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on this date by Bono. So it was pretty interesting. So the Boss was inducted twice, one with his band and one by himself. So just like Paul McCartney. So that's a little clips from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony from 1999. So folks, we're waiting for the coach of Calvert Hall. They did play this afternoon, the men's lacrosse coach. He said he was coming on at 7:47, but maybe that game probably ran over and he's on his way home. So we're going to try to put in some. Let's see what we got here. Any interviews that we could run here. Let's see here. Okay, we could. We can run some stuff from last week. The MIAA championship, Conference State men's basketball team had a chance to beat Norfolk State Saturday, and came up short. Really played, literally, not great. They had problems with the free throws and extra, possessions and all that stuff. So I had a chance to talk to. Let's bring this up. I had a chance to talk to Coach Juan Dixon and a player from Coppin State. So in the meantime, because we're waiting for Coach Kelly to join us, let's play a little interview here. And here it is. Hey, Coach Dixon. Sorry for the tough loss this afternoon. Was this playing in the middle of March? Is this going to help your team experience a little bit more, for next year, knowing that you have a tough road schedule to start the season? Like we just saw your schedule, like you had the first 15 on the road. Do you think that will really help you guys to gel better?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, our guys got to work hard this off season. We got to be deeper early in the year. We can't rely on our core guys, Ninda and Jesse, to log a lot of minutes early, especially, when we know we have a job to do, to go out and play money games. Was it easy? Hell no. It's one of the hardest things I've ever experienced as a person, as a coach, to travel, not sleeping much, trying to prepare our guys the best we can. But they stuck with it. They never gave in. Never gave up. And I love these dudes. We're going to continue to get better. And as a staff, we got to find a way to fix our schedule early to make sure we're not traveling as much or on a road for long periods of time, and then get our guys some confidence early. But they believe from day one, all the way up until this afternoon.
If I could follow up real quick, when did you see this team this year? When did you know you had a special team? I know you got to the championship, didn't end up the right way, but when did you see you had a special team? Knowing that you just said like they could be, they could pack it in and say, see you next year.
It's hard every year. In our situation, we have guys transfer. We bringing in newcomers, 6 or 7, 8 guys every year. During these exit meetings, I'm gonna tell guys, I want guys back because what we do scheme wise, it's not easy to retain, especially on the defensive end, and it takes us a while to grasp what we're trying to get accomplished on the defensive end. And I knew from day one we were special, but it's about getting everyone on the same page. And that hurts to hear that, guys. That hurts. I'm ready to get to work right now. I'm ready to get to work. Get these young men back here.
Hey, this is Chris Heidel from Herb FM Sports Radio in Baltimore, Maryland. Sorry for the tough loss today. Just talking about you being a freshman, what does this mean for you for next year, getting this whole post-season experience, knowing that you guys are back next year?
This year we gained a lot of experience. Being the 7th seed, taking on each of the top 3 seeds in the tournament, it's not easy, but, just playing here, getting a feel for how it is here, and our guys, it was new for a lot of us, and it's always tough. It's in their city, so they got it going. They got the fans, band, whatever. But so just gaining all that adversity and experience, it's definitely gonna help us making a run at this thing next year.
And if I can follow up real quick, playing 3 games, and well, you were off on Thursday, you played Friday, and you played today. Did you feel a little fatigued, or you feel were you rested, ready to go?
There's always that fatigue factor, considering most stretches. I mean, for us, we played some 3 games in 4 nights in non-conference, so it has just been so long since we've done that, But there's no excuses, everyone has the same circumstance, everyone has to go do the same thing, so you can't make that excuse. They're banged up, we're banged up. It's just who can outlast each other.
That's true. Thank you so much, and good luck for the rest of this. See you next year.
Thank you.
I got a little tongue tied here, at the end, because it was one of those videos from ESPN popped on during my interview. And I was like, yeah. So we're guessing we'll try to get Coach Kelly on next week when we'll do some more men's lacrosse next week here on the program. Yeah. So coming up at 8:05, and this gentleman will be joining us shortly, by telephone. If you just joined us, Larry Sheets will be joining us at 8:05 tonight. Good old 33rd Street. Whoever missed that ball, in the stands, he missed it.
When he shot one out of the park?
Yeah, the kid missed it. I'm like, I know you would have probably caught it.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah. So we're waiting for Coach Sheets to join us. We'll give him a call around, we'll be on at 8:05. And also coming up at 8:20, we're continuing our baseball coverage here. We have the Mount St. Joe's baseball coach, PhilKraska. He'll be joining us. And then 8:40, Steve, DaveMiele.
Neil.
Okay. So he's from StPaulSchool, just next door to us here, right down the road.
Yep, past it coming in.
So we could probably actually scream to him. So if he wants, instead of doing the interview, we could like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Hey, Dave, want to come on the show?
Yeah, one of those. And so we'll see what their record is. Let's go back to Mount Carmel, Mount St. Joe's baseball. They are 2-1 on the season. They beat DeMatha yesterday. Speaking of DeMatha, we'll play this video during his interview, but it was a walk-off fashion for the kids. So this is courtesy of one of the DeMatha's Twitter page. This kid, basically
Last one to center field.
they beat DeMatha by a score of 6-5 in 8 innings, and the freshman Jonathan Coombs, shown below in that clip there. Let's play that again. Basically, he hit a laser through the left side that tied it, and then they won it on an error in the 8th inning. That stinks. So you lose an extra innings on an error. I've been there. Yeah, that's really bad in the way you have to, end that game quickly. So in the meantime, I was trying to put on another interview here to see what I got here in the archives. Something like a 2-minute thing here. Let's see here, I'm trying to find. Yeah, here's a 2-minute thing we could put in. Townsend's women's basketball team is they're in the women NIT. They'll be playing tomorrow, Thursday, Friday night at 7:00 against Old Dominion. So here's the interview I had with the coach, Coach Richardson, after beating a really tough Northeastern squad, getting into the semifinal against Delaware. The Delaware one was very controversial. They had a problem at the end of the the game there. So let's see if this one works here. So here's some stuff from the weekend. You guys started, like you said, sluggish. Like the first half, you guys were playing a good defense against Northeastern. What did you guys do in the fourth quarter to literally control the game and take it out of their hands?
Well, we played the fourth quarter like we should have played the first. Just seeing the scoreboard and seeing that our dreams were slipping away, I think they just rose to the occasion and decided to take the game back, and they did that with defense.
And you played Delaware tomorrow. You just played them last week, so I guess it's really hard to play. This is the third time this season you played them, so you basically know them all.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Well, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Congratulations on winning the game tonight and heading on to the finals tomorrow.
Thank you.
Just talk about you personally as a head coach, because I know you've been there for what, 3 or 4, 2 or 3 years there at Coppin. What does it mean for you? Winning this thing, getting into the championship game.
It means a lot. Our program came long ways. We had to lay out foundation early the first couple of years. We had to recruit the right young men, and I couldn't be. I'm so happy for our student athletes. We get opportunity to play in the championship game. Coppin has not been in this position since 2008. Our guys understand it's unfinished business. We got to be able to recover and get ready to play a very good basketball team in Norfolk State.
And if I can. All right, folks, welcome back. And we have on the line here former Oriole, and right now his current job is the head coach at Gilman School. Gilman School is right down Northern Parkway here in Baltimore. And the Greyhounds are on the road. They're in Winston-Salem. They're playing some great teams down there on their spring break. So, Coach Sheets, thanks for joining us. Yesterday, you guys had a tough matchup against one of the North Carolina squads. So just slowly recap the game for us.
Well, they were very good, and we're trying to find our way right now. With we lost 12 seniors last year, and we're just trying to put the pieces to the puzzle together. And yesterday was not a good day, but we had a really good practice today, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow you guys are down in North Carolina. You're playing some of the private schools down there. Are they really, and you're playing at you were playing at High Point University, so that's a nice field. Where are you guys playing tomorrow?
We are at Wesleyan Christian, I think.
Okay.
But they've got a good team, as most teams do in North Carolina. So it's a good test for us. It keeps our kids in check. We look forward to the challenge.
Yeah, so you was, people my age still remembers you playing for the Baltimore Orioles, because I was, Steve and I, my partner here, Steve Zillage and I are basically old people, getting up in age, but but we're still
Speak
young.
for yourself.
But it's pretty cool that how cool is it to go back to high school and like a private school and be a manager for high school baseball and having people looking at you going, you played Major League Baseball? Are you serious?
Well, it's been a lot of fun, and you feel like you're giving back a little bit, and I've enjoyed it. I mean, I can't believe it's my 13th year doing it, but you go out. I love the game as much as I did 50 years ago, and I think that's the big key to it. When I don't love working with the kids and don't love getting ready for games, then it's time to quit. But that's not now. So it's been a blast.
That's cool.
Hey, Larry, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the fact that when you played at Camden Yards back in the 90s, that now Camden Yards now has a new look to it, as they have moved the wall in left center to make it a 10-foot wall and moved it 30 feet further back to try and make it as not as easy as a hitter's ballpark for the batters and make it an easier ballpark for pitching. What are your thoughts on that?
It's probably going to take a little bit more than that, but I mean, you've got to entice free agents to come to Baltimore, and playing in a small park, I'm sure, was not enticing, and hopefully doing something like this will invigorate people to want to come there and play, and we need to get the. I mean, I'm a White Sox fan now, but we got to get the Orioles back playing the way they used to play and winning baseball games.
Yeah. Speaking of that, your son is playing for the Chicago White Sox. What was it like having him in the major leagues? You must be really excited the first. Did you go out to New Comiskey Park, whatever they call it now, to watch your son play against Minnesota? We have a clip of his first home run here on the program. How cool was that for you, being a dad, seeing your son hit a major league home run?
Well, it's been a blast, and I'm certainly glad that baseball is back and playing, and it's an important year for him. I think I think at this point in time he's going to break with the big league team, and I think he's going to be an integral part of it, and that's just what it's what you want. You want to have that opportunity to excel at that level. Mm-hmm.
How hard is it him to knowing that his dad played in the major leagues, just like Cal? Cal has a son Ryan, who's in the he's out in AAA in Norfolk, and he must be getting people go, hey, you look like your dad, and what did your dad teach you, and all that stuff. How hard is it for your son to go say, look, I'm my own person. That's my dad's career. I'm going to have my own career.
I think he's been able to separate it, and again, it's difficult. It's difficult because I played against Tony La Russa, and now he's still managing in the big leagues, but he's been able to separate that. I think, people have sort of forgotten that part of it, and he's his own person, and he's doing his thing. And, any questions that he has that maybe I can be of some assistance, I'm always there for him, but he's done a really good job of being himself and doing his thing.
Yeah, I heard he was tearing it up down in Charlotte. That stadium down there in Charlotte, I've been down there a couple times for non night games. That stadium's pretty good. He was tearing it up last year.
Well, it's a beautiful ballpark,
Yeah.
and a beautiful town, and he's again, it's one game to the next, and see what happens.
Yeah, Steve, you got a question for Larry?
Yeah, I was also saying, Larry, one of my best moments at Camden Yards was in 97 or 98. I actually got a ground rule double at Camden Yards from Melvin Moore that was hit into that left center field. So that was a big moment for me there. And that made me, even back then, I realized, this makes it too easy for batters to hit over that side of the porch. So now they got to worry about the flag court, as being that short porch in right field. So you think that would be more target for the for right-handed hitters now?
Well, I mean, again, you can't bulletproof everything. I mean, you can't, because then you're not going to have hitters that want to come there and play just because you got pitchers that want to play. And I mean, the beauty of Camden Yards is having the core, the flag, part there, and hopefully they're going to get it figured out. Hopefully they're going to get some guys in there that can get the hitters out and like I said, get back on that winning track.
Yeah. Well, when you were playing in Major League Baseball, you played with the Tigers, and then you went off to Japan for 1 year. What was it like going into Japan and play baseball? Because a lot of people don't realize they take their baseball seriously out in Japan. Because if you see some movies like Mr. Baseball, or I don't know if that's a good analogy, but what was it like for you out there for the whole year?
It was great. I mean, it was the atmosphere was completely different. They loved the baseball nationally. The kids were playing it, and it was I had a good time while I was there.
Yeah. So Larry, one more question before I let you go. I know you were getting ready for tomorrow's afternoon's game against Westland Christian Academy down there in North Carolina. Is it hard to scout a team that you don't really see? Because I know up here in Baltimore, you have seen Calvert Hall, you have seen, JohnCarroll, you have seen all those teams. Is it tough when you do these spring trips that you go, oh, I don't even know these people?
No, you just, it's the same thing I do in Baltimore. I don't go out and watch. I don't go out and watch the kids play. It's high school baseball, and from one day to the next, you don't know what you're going to get. This kid may be really good today and really bad the next day. So. We go out and we try to play hard and we try to play the game the right way and we're gonna win some games and we're gonna have some bad games like we had yesterday and the idea is to minimize the losses and try to win as many ball games as you can.
That's true. Well, Coach Sheets, thanks for joining us. If your son comes to town, if anybody's listening to us in August. So hopefully it's not 120 degrees at Camden Yards. I mean, I know in August it's pretty hot here, but a 3-game series, 23rd, 24th, and 25th of August. So if they all want to go see your son, get some tickets. They're available.
They will be available, I'm sure. But that's certainly circled on the calendar.
All right. Well, you have a safe trip down to North Carolina. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll keep in touch.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. See you.
All right, see you, Larry.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, that's Coach Larry Sheets, former Baltimore Oriole, Tiger, and I think he played for one more team. I think it was, I have it up here. I think I forgot to tell him. Yeah, you'll see here. Tigers and Seattle Mariners.
Good old Seattle.
Yeah. So, if you want to go see his son, will be in town on August 23rd to the 26th. 24 to the 25th.
23rd through 25th.
When White Sox versus the Orioles in Baltimore. That's pretty cool. I think it's really cool to have a former major leaguer around these parts of the woods and for young kids growing up, because they don't get a chance to see this guy play. This is like, for them, it's like their ancient history. It's like my parents, like my father talks to me about players that he's seen when he was growing up, and I'm like, okay, they're like 50 years old, and they're not 50 years ago, and hearing my father talking about Mickey Mantle and different players and stadiums and all that stuff. It's always cool to hear a different side of people with their and having him around here. Also, if you see Cal's around here too, and his son Ryan is in AAA in Norfolk, and he looks just like his dad when he was coming up from the. If you look at
Do
it,
you think there's any chance we might see Ryan playing at Camden Yards in the next couple of years or anything?
Well, the thing is, Ryan is a left-handed batter, and he plays first base.
That's right. His dad was what?
Shortstop.
Shortstop. That's right.
Yeah. So, and I had the pleasure to spend a whole evening with Cal a couple of years ago. I think it was pre-pandemic, and Frederick. And the story I probably hear all the time, because people tell me I tell more stories than anything. Just trying to see if anybody's paying attention. So, I was in the press box with, Cal, and Cal comes in, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. What's Cal doing here? So I'm like, his son Ryan is playing for the Frederick Keys at the time. Keys are not even affiliated with the Orioles anymore.
Yeah, they're what, independent league now?
Yeah, they're independent baseball. So it's really interesting. So you're sitting there, and I'm like walking. He's in the press box, and I'm like, just him and I in the press box, nobody else.
Awkward.
And I'm sitting there going, am I watching baseball with a Hall of Famer for the whole night? And I'm like, this is pretty cool. So I'm sitting there trying not to like do anything and to like jeopardize anything. But it's funny, you hear people knocking on the door like, hey Cal, I'm the son of such and such and such and such and such. And like, and Cal's like, okay, gives him an autograph. It's like, and I asked him, I was like, are you tired of that? And he goes, they bring it up all the time. Somebody's daddy or something like that, or I'm like, wow.
Just like that 10-year mission that I finally accomplished several years ago. The last year that they had the Ripken World Series in Aberdeen, when I finally got Cal to sign a ball for me. Yeah,
well, it's also cool that Cal knows your name, and we used to hear at Herbert FM Radio. We used to do the Calvert World Series on the radio.
I missed that,
and it was fun. I had a good time doing it, and Cal put us on Channel 2 the day of the opening ceremonies, and I didn't see it, but I found it online. And I'm sorry, that's a lot of pressure. If you get somebody like that guy saying, "Hey, Chris Heidel," and I'm like, me? Me? So let's bring in the coach for Mount St. Joe's. It's another local Catholic school around here in the beautiful Baltimore metro area. Coach, how you say it, Steve?
PhilKraska.
PhilKraska joining us. Hi, Phil. How you doing?
Hey, Chris. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for coming on, dude. Yeah, we had Larry Sheets on, and I think that's pretty cool for your league to have like former major leaguer coaching Gilman. And like, I think half the kids probably don't even know he played baseball. It probably was like Mickey Mantle. Like I hear stories from my father. Yeah.
No, I mean around here, Larry's a good name, and I'm sure the guys know what they signed up for. Over there, Cal. I just heard you talking as I came on. I heard you talking about Cal. Cal used to coach over there at Gilman too. So they've had a pretty strong line of former pro players and good players here in Baltimore. So. It's cool. It's definitely cool to stand across the field from a guy that for me, I watch. I don't remember when Larry stopped playing, but I mean I've seen him on TV and seen him around with the Orioles. So it's definitely
Yeah, I collect his baseball card, and I was talking to my brother over the weekend. I'm like, I got Larry Sheets. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he didn't say it that way, but it was like, they're like, where's he? Was he manager or He's like, yeah, he's like in the Catholic League. He's like, and my dad was like, woohoo, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and his son is doing just amazing stuff with the White Sox. I mean,
I know.
I was coaching for St. Joe when Gavin was there. The kid can hit just like his dad. So it's awesome. It's awesome I'm happy for Larry, and I'm definitely happy for Gavin. I mean, he was a real competitor in high school, and he's continuing that. So it's been good.
He came up in that White Sox organization real quick because when he was down in Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was covering the SEC baseball, and I'm like, Larry Sheets' son down here.
Yeah, and then I mean, the bat always plays. The bat always plays, and his bat's big, so the bat always. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your squad because I know you want to talk more about your team and and how you want to make some change, win some.
Yeah.
You want to beat Larry. You don't want to beat him pretty bad, but you want to beat him.
I want to beat him really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So just looking at your schedule, let me pull it up here. Yesterday, nice win, 6-5 win in 8 innings. I saw that on the Twitter page this afternoon. That must have been an exciting early season baseball game for you guys coming back, and that makes you happy knowing that your team is not out in any type of during the game.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, Steve Miller runs DeMatha down there. Steve Miller, he was coaching at Spalding when I was coming through, and they were always a tough team to beat. I mean, they're just a well-run ball club. They were back then, and now he's down there. He made a transition to DeMatha, and it's the same. It's the same. Steve Miller is a great baseball coach, and he runs a great program, and his teams play hard for him. So they're always a tough team to beat. Just the fact that we got the win, was really happy with our guys. It was a hard fought. Steve, those guys didn't lay over at DeMatha. They rallied in the 7th to tie us. A little bit, we had a breakdown. My pitcher, my left-handed senior, Jackson Bauer, he went 6 innings, no hit baseball, 2 walks, no hits, 1 error. So he was lights out. And then he got down the stretch. He was getting a little tired, so we made a transition. And, they just, as soon as he came out of the game, they started putting things together. And they scored a bunch at the end to tie it up and take us into extra innings. But our guys were able to come out on top. I was real proud of that. It shows a little bit of fight in them, which is good, especially this early in the season. So, yeah, getting a win yesterday was real big. It was real telling of, a little bit of how our ball club is going to be made up this year. And I think that's going to have to be tough. Looking at our guys and what we got a lot of really tough baseball guys that, got to get the job done because we, honestly, we don't have, the big numbers that are out there on, PBR and all this other stuff, all those metrics that everybody is so obsessed about. We don't have those, but those aren't necessary to win baseball games. They're not. What it really takes is guys willing to work hard and grind. And when it's your turn in the box or you got the ball on the mound or the ball's hit to you, you want that ball and you want that opportunity and you're going to be able to capitalize on that. And I think we got that this year, and that's going to help us a lot down the stretch through the MIAA.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, you guys leave tomorrow, right, to go down to South Carolina. So you got to
leave Thursday. We got a practice day. We got a practice day tomorrow. We've only had 2 hours on the field.
Wow.
We got a bunch of weather, and then with at Mount St. Joe, we only have 1 field at the moment. I don't know how we could get another, but we only have 1 field and we have 3 teams. So we got to split that time up right now. We got an auxiliary field that's not going to be ready until April 1. So right now we got to split time with all 3 teams so everybody can get their work in. But we only had a couple hours on the field with the weather and all that other stuff because it's a grass field. So and it doesn't drain well. So we only had a couple hours on the field. So tomorrow is going to be a good, nice practice. Then we get down there to Myrtle Beach. Get a bunch of games in, see where we're at, give some guys some work, and, really excited to get there and actually have a trip this year because, this is the first time we've gone in 2 years. So we're all really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Everything is trying to get back to somewhat normal, that's what you want to say.
Yeah.
But, with these trips to Myrtle Beach for, spring break and, these are stuff that helps your players out because they get that bonding, during that whole hotel thing, and you get to know everybody, and like, oh, that guy's annoying, and and like you get to know everybody, and you guys, he's pointing to me, but that's what cool trips are like. You get to know each other for a whole week, and then when you get home, you guys work as a team, and it might help you pedal to something else.
Yeah. I mean, I tell the guys all the time. I mean, like, they're all good baseball players. They all have put the time in, developed their skills for a long time. And it's not like we're going to change your mechanics or your swing or any of that stuff. Like, we can make little changes here and there, but none of that stuff is, in my mind, is going to make or break, an at bat or, a batter when you're on the mound or vision. It's all about mindset and confidence that you got guys behind you. And that stuff is really, really fostered on a trip like this, especially we get 4 days down there, plus a bunch of bus time, and playing college baseball, obviously, you live on a bus half the time, and you step off the field and you play and jump back on the bus. So I mean, it's just a part of baseball that I don't think they haven't experienced yet. So I'm really looking forward to all of it.
That's true. Steve, you got something for?
Yeah, talking about it. Transition of the weather. On Saturday, there was snowing and cold and miserable outside. Today it was 70 degrees. So how was it like transitioning from playing in the cold weather where, baseball feels like a rock to playing in the warmer weather where it feels, a little more normal when you hit it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always nicer to play in warmer weather, but you also got to realize where you are on the map. So like, you're in Maryland. You're in Maryland. You're on the East Coast. That's just kind of how baseball is. I mean, it obviously, if I had to pick one or the other, I'm going to pick 95 all day. And I don't care about the humidity on the East Coast. I'm going to pick 95 all day. But, it's good to get out there, feel loose, and not have to worry about shivering and stuff. But it's part of the game. We aren't going to cancel the game. You got to show up and play the game, and you got to get your job done when time's called. So, I mean, I'm glad it's getting warmer. I hope that's behind us. I live out in Westminster by McDaniel College. I got 7 inches of snow. And I got 2 little girls. They were so happy about it because they got a proper snow day and we got to go outside and play. But I'm just sitting there like, I ain't playing all week. Actually, we got it in yesterday. I mean, I got the best athletic director in the state, and I'll say it in the country. I mean, that he worked on it, and we got the game in yesterday. I don't know if anybody else was able to play on a dirt field yesterday, but we were able to play. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. I do want to ask you, there's a tournament. When I was at Beller High School, this is a long, long time ago, the Jack Connolly tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's still going around. I think my brother played it, and it was like 1996. I'm like, wow, this thing's still going?
Yeah, so Jack Connolly, actually, his grandson is on my team right now. He's a junior. So Jack Connolly, Jack Connolly had 3 boys, I believe. 3 boys. All three of them played at Mount St. Joe. And then all of their sons have also played for me. So I've coached a bunch of Conleys. So it's synonymous with Mount St. Joe baseball. And Mr. Jack Connolly is just a great advocate for the program. Back in the day, he started that leadoff tournament. So it was called the Jack Connolly Leadoff Tournament back in the day because he lived in Anne Arundel County and he knew the coaches down there, and he would bring some of those teams up to Mount St. Joe to play the Saturday before Easter. And that's why it was called the leadoff tournament, because the public schools would start later and they would come up and play us for their, one of their first games, one of the first big games. And it would be an opportunity for the public schools down in Anne Arundel County to play with the private schools or with Mount St. Joe in the city. So it's going on forever, and we still got it going. We still got it going strong. I mean, that leadoff tournament is just a great day for Mount St. Joe. Get the families out there. Everybody is all the teams that we've had come in the past have been, just love the fact that we have baseball the Saturday before Easter. I mean, I played in it. I went to Mount St. Joe. I played in the leadoff tournament both years. And now I've been at Mount St. Joe now coaching for the last 14 years. Mm-hmm. And it's never going away. It's never going away.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, thanks for coming on tonight. I hope you guys have a great trip down to South Carolina. Bring the warm weather up this way. Keep it up this way. No more snow. We get some spring sports going. We can get some baseball going. And, lo and behold, it will be July and it's 115 degrees out and everybody's complaining.
Yeah. No. can't wait. I hope we have enough room on the bus to bring it with us. So I appreciate it.
Well, have a safe trip, and we'll talk to you. We'll keep in touch.
Yep. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity. This is, I'm glad to be on and talk baseball anytime. Thanks a lot, Chris.
All right, man. Have a safe
Thank you
trip.
very much.
Thanks, guys.
See you. All right, it's Coach PhilKraska, right? All right, we're working really hard here on the program, and then let's bring in the head coach of St. Paul's School. St. Paul's School, folks, if you want to know where the home office is, I'm not going to tell people where we live because we don't need anybody here. We have too many people here. You know, we have a guy with a shotgun. He might show up here at the door. His is behind us. You know, he lives here. So we don't want to tell people, but this guy is right down the street where we are. Coach DaveMiele, who is the head coach at St. Paul's School for boys, or it's for boys and girls, right? You're muted. You're muted. There we go.
Yes, we're actually called the St. Paul Schools now.
Okay.
But we do still have the boys and girls sides of the school. So
yeah,
but they're trying to unite the whole school, and I think it's really just more the budget and all that.
That's true. Yeah, I had a cousin. He taught there. His name is first name Mr. Patterson.
Okay.
So it was a long time ago. So he was there, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I live in the area. I was like, oh, okay, that's where St. Paul's School is. Oh, that's a nice little.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a very nice campus. Right at
the
top of Falls Road.
Yeah, it is very nice, and you guys have a nice baseball field too. I was over there a couple years ago for one of those like rec games that people do during the summer. I was like, wow, this is a very nice facility.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little spot back there. We got a great guy in Steve Boardman that takes care of our field full time at our school. So takes a lot of work off of me and my staff, which is really nice. So he does a great job out there.
Yeah. So let's talk about your team. How's your team doing right now? You guys are in the B conference, right? And you are.
Yes, sir.
You just got underway, right, with your season?
Yes, we kicked off our first game on last Friday. We took a tough loss to St. Mary's. And then tonight we just played Hereford High School. We faced their top arm and Deal, kid that's committed to High Point. And we actually, we fell behind 12-3, and then we battled back and fought back, and we ended up winning 13-12 tonight. So it was a pretty exciting comeback win. And I know my boys were jacked as we head off to Bishop O'Connell tomorrow in Virginia.
Yeah, that must be a good way to, good way to keep this, the week going. You guys are happy. You won a big game, and now tomorrow you got to take on another big time program in this area, and they're going to probably throw their ace at you.
For sure. That's what I told my boys. I said, we got a bit of a target on our back this year, going 19-1 last year. And I know, especially once we get into conference play, guys are going to be bringing all their best guys at us to try to knock us off. So we got some pretty good players this year. We got Cam Nelson, who's coming back as a junior. He's probably our top arm. He's sitting like 90-91 right now. He started tonight, did pretty well. And then we got a couple other really good juniors in our program, and Hayden Hare, Alex Cromwell. We got a good pitcher in Aiden Gould. And then we got some good senior leadership in Charles Konkalik, Matthew Meck. That's pretty much our core group of players. Zach Felton and John Padusis also round out those seniors. So we got some guys. 2 guys are committed to go play college baseball next year. Or one's going next year. Johnny Padusis is going to play at Stevenson. Okay. And then Cam Nelson already has a commitment to Wake Forest. Obviously, he still has another year though.
Wow, that's cool.
So
that's good for us because I cover the ACC baseball, so I'll keep an eye on him and circle him.
Yes, sir.
Get him on the program.
Yes, sir. We're hoping to see big things out of him in the future for sure.
Hey, you never know. I see on your wall you might be pitching for the Phillies. You never know.
We could use it. That's for sure. We could definitely use some pitching.
Yeah, call him up now. Like, hey,
I know, right?
Yeah, forget your eligibility. Yeah, let's go. Question about the different conferences you guys are in, A and B. How you guys decide where you guys will be playing? Is it school population? Is it just because of the record? Is it almost like the soccer, the Premier Soccer League? Like if you're terrible, you jump down to the B League, and then if you win the B conference, you jump back up to the A conference. Explain to folks how they do that.
That is kind of how it works in the MIAA. I believe it's every other year they do a reclassification, and teams can kind of put in an application to try to go up or go down. I'm not really too sure, as this is my first year as the head coach. I'm not too sure how it's like finalized, like who actually makes that decision. But we are absolutely making a push to try to get back up to A, hence why I have a lot of A conference schools and A caliber schools scheduled for us in this first couple weeks of the season. Like we opened up with St. Mary's A team. Hereford's, I would say, would be an A caliber team in our conference. We got Bishop O'Connell tomorrow, who's a powerhouse program in Virginia. We got Curley coming up on Thursday, and then we got a doubleheader set with Loyola on Saturday. We play Gilman next Tuesday. So I tried to stack as many A teams as I could, just because, like I said, last year we went 19-1. We only played B conference teams. We just really weren't challenged. So I just want to give our boys a taste of what, higher level baseball is going to be like. Not to mention we got kids that aspire to play in college. So if they want to play with the big boys, they got to be able to beat those A conference teams or at least compete with them. So giving them that experience, getting their feet wet a little bit with that and seeing how we can build this program up and get some more numbers in our program. Because that's the biggest thing at St. Paul's is we're a very expensive school. It's hard to compete in terms of like recruitment because of our price point. You got to be able to afford our school. We're not dishing out a lot of athletic scholarship money to people to come play baseball. So we are in, a little bit of a special situation at St. Paul's, but it's an excellent education. The school's amazing. Teachers are great. The community is really great. The campus is beautiful. And like I said, our baseball program's up and coming. We got some good kids coming in as recruits in our 9th grade year next year. So we got some 8th graders that'll come in next year in 9th grade that are going to really help the program. I think will come up and probably be on varsity right away. So
that's cool. And they also play baseball. You have a middle school team and JV team and all that. So they're in the
we have 2 middle school teams. We have a blue and a gold team. Our blue team is our higher level team. They play on the big field, and then our gold team plays on the smaller field right now. So it's basically 5th and 6th plays on gold, 7th and 8th plays on blue, and then we have our JV team and then varsity.
Okay.
And right now we got about 16 kids on JV and 15 on varsity. So like I said, we don't have like a ton of backups, but it's good. It's good. The kids get playing time. They push each other. They work hard, and we're getting better.
And that game you're talking about where you came back, where you were down 12-2 and win 13-12. Once the kids scored that first run to get, past that 2 mark, did you just kind of like see the team just like come together and be like, okay, we can do this and let's go out and get it done? And they just kind of fed off each other's momentum to get the win in that game.
For sure. Honestly, in our game on Friday, like what I said to them after the game tonight, like we just didn't have any leaders emerge in that game Friday when we were getting it handed to us. Like we kind of just accepted the fact that we were going to get beat. And tonight, a couple of our guys, Hayden Hare especially, he came in the dugout after one of the innings and he was just like, guys, we can win this game. We're down by 8. I don't give a crap how many runs they got on us. We can win this game. We're a better ball club. And that just led a spark. A couple of our newer guys to varsity this year came up in big spots, got us a base knock, and just continued to fuel that fire. And guys just rallied. And we got a little help from Hereford. They kind of fell behind in their pitching there, started walking a few guys. So we kind of cashed in when they were down. And that's how you do it, man.
Yeah, that's how you win ball games. You just have to, you execute on those walks. And walks actually keep innings alive. And you see it in baseball, you see it in Major League Baseball, and see it all in your time. You can't walk a lot of people, and that means there's no way you're going to be winning a game if you keep walking everybody in.
Yep, those free passes are killers, man.
Yeah, I used to love watching people just walk. My team. Like the teams I played when I was a kid. I was like, all right, that's another walk. Right. And like all of a sudden we scored 10 runs, and we're like, wow, that's 10 runs in that inning. Jeez.
Yep. Now another highlight in our game tonight was Cam Nelson. He walked 6 times tonight, and there were opportunities in his at bats tonight where he's sitting 3-1, and it's a close pitch right on the outside corner, and he just takes it for ball 4 instead of trying to chase and extend his at bat. He's a great hitter, and I told him tonight I was really proud of him for just being a team player and just letting the game come to him and not trying to do too much. And I think that his patience at the plate tonight with those 6 walks really, just showed some great maturity and really let our other guys know that, hey, yeah, he may be one of our best guys, but he's going to go up there and be a team player when we need him to be. So it was really cool to see him just kind of take what came to him and accept it tonight.
Yeah, it's always good to have a leader like that, poised at the plate, not going to swing at crap,
Right.
and wait for his pitch pretty much.
For
and,
sure.
And that basically helps teams out too, because if you see him not swinging for the gopher balls over the head or, the
Right.
ones outside, your other players will be like, oh, he's sitting patiently. Let me
Yep.
just wait for my pitch.
For sure. Definitely trickles into everybody else for sure, keeping that good eye on the ball.
You got anything for Dave? Nope. So, yeah, I'm just trying to pull up your, so it's a nice campus there at St. Paul. So you guys, last weekend, we were supposed to play Calvert Hall. You guys are going to reschedule that because something with the white stuff that came down. And
Yeah, it sucked, man. That Saturday, man, we got that 20-degree weather and all that snow came down. So, yeah, I was talking to Coach Lou, and we're going to see if there's a possibility to get back on the schedule for this year, but it's so tough with all the games that we have scheduled coming up and with what they got. So there's a good chance we probably won't get to play them this year, but we'll try. And I already have talked to him about trying to get them back on the schedule next year, and maybe we'll actually be up in the A by then. So we'll see.
Yeah, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button.
That's all right.
So repeat that again because I didn't hear it. Because I hit
So yeah, I was saying. So yeah, Saturday we got snowed out. Obviously, it was crappy weather, and I've been in talks with Coach Eckerl, and we're going to try to reschedule it, but chances are probably not, just because of all the games that we both have scheduled throughout the season. If we can't, we're definitely going to get back on the schedule with them next year. And like I said, maybe we'll actually be up in the A, so it'll be automatic.
That's cool. So what is your goals for your squad? I know you want to get up to the A conference. That's the major goal, but you guys want to keep winning and win the B conference. That would be still pretty good for you guys.
Yep, no doubt. Our main goal is to compete for an MIAA B conference championship this year. And with that being said, our small goals in between are just to stay focused in all of our practices, all of our repetitions, make sure we come out with a good attitude every day and just, respect the game and understand that, hey, if we can be good people out there and learn life lessons through this game, we're going to see success. And that's the biggest thing I instill in my ball players, is that this is more than just a baseball game. This is about life. This is about learning how to build relationships with each other, learning how to deal with adversity when it rolls our way, learning how to celebrate your successes in a respectful way, and just trying to overall be good people. And I truly believe that when you go about your business the right way, you get rewarded. So those are the big things that we've been trying to instill in our boys, and just teach them to play with passion, play with their heart, show that they love this game.
That's true. And you got kids who love baseball, and that's a good thing. And then they're going to help you succeed, and you're going to have a great season.
No doubt. Yeah, we're very excited, man, especially coming off that big bounce back win tonight. So hopefully we can go out to Bishop O'Connell tomorrow and play a good baseball game and see what happens.
That's true. Well, Coach, thanks so much for coming on tonight. Good luck tomorrow. Safe trip to Virginia, and we'll keep in touch with you, and we'll have you on middle of before the season's over.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much for including us. We really appreciate it, man. You guys have a great night.
You too, man.
You too.
Have a good one.
Go Cruisies.
I love it. I love having coaches are excited, for that.
Yeah, they get that little extra pump of momentum there,
Exactly. I think it's great. It's great to see programs.
It's good. It's a lot of things to see in that, type stuff. People coaches getting into it, as well as the players getting into the rhythm of playing the game.
Right. Exactly. Let's just talk about some other games coming up in the NCAA tournament. We talked about Old Dominion and Towson, the women's team. They're going to be playing each other on Friday night. Friday night at 5:00 down at College Park. Number 13 Delaware taking on Brendan Fries and the Lady Terps down there. So it's a 2-game things down there at College Park. The first game, I think, is around 2:00. It's Virginia Tech against Florida Gulf Coast or something like that. So
yeah, Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, if you want to see those guys, that's going to be. And then you got Brendan Fries at 5:00 against Delaware, and then it's tomorrow. We have Towson, the men's team. They are at Wake Forest as we speak. They'll be playing tomorrow night at this time. Tomorrow, 24 hours from now. They'll be talking. They'll be playing against Wake Forest. And tomorrow afternoon here on the program, we're going to have a special program, special edition of Sports Talk with yours truly. We'll have Pat Scarry from live on the phone from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where Larry Sheets was, just in that same neck of the woods. Or maybe Larry stop over and give the Tigers a pep talk. You never know. Coaches work with other coaches. They know each other around here. Yeah. So that's tomorrow at 4:20. We'll be on the air at 4:00, just for an hour and a half. Like tonight, we'll be ending the show around after this interview with JohnCarroll, because the coach at we were trying to get Archbishop Curley on. He is basically down in DC. He was with his freshman team this afternoon, and the bus broke down. So they are somewhere in between home and Archbishop Curley. So we'll get him on next week here on the program. Even though it's Coach Kelly from Calvert Hall, we'll get him on, the men's lacrosse coach, on as well. So let's bring in the head coach of JohnCarroll, our neck of the woods. JohnCarroll is the only private school in Harford County. Used to be part of the public schools back in the 70s before they switched over to Catholic schools. So Coach Siler will join us. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, guys, doing really well. Thanks so much. How you doing?
No problem. Yeah, we're old Harford County guys. I'm down here in Baltimore County now. He's still up in he's in Baltimore County as well. But I drove past JohnCarroll my whole life with that. But it's pretty cool. Your field is getting I played baseball there a couple of years ago, a long time ago, and I hit one right towards the tennis courts. And the guy almost caught it. That's one of it was a rec game, and I crushed it. And my dad goes, somebody actually almost caught it. Yeah, it's like my dad goes, that would have gone out of Shea, but
They're gonna home run at the Polo Grounds, but
I just stood there at the plate, and I was like, wow, I hit this one out of here. Cool. Yeah. So you guys had a scrimmage today against Hartford Tech. How did that go?
We did, yeah. Scrimmages are always about opportunity, right? So to learn something about our team, about our guys, about situations. First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me be a part of this, to get to meet you guys and talk a little bit of ball, a little bit about our journey here as a program. And also just wanted to say you had some really phenomenal speakers. Coach Miele is a phenomenal coach and wonderful human being. Coach Kraska, I've known for a while, just an amazing coach. Love playing against him, coaching against him, and having fellowship with him. Coach Sheets obviously is a phenomenal coach. Runs a great program there at Gilman, and heard about Coach Gaeta. Hopefully he's able to get home soon. But another really competitive program. So to be included in this for me is it's an honor. So thank you very much. But,
no problem. We love to have you on, because we're trying to do every night. Every Tuesday night I try to do something totally different. Like some nights we try to do a national thing, and then this week I was like, let's just stay local. Everybody's tired of national stuff. We'll talk Maryland basketball. It's okay. But you guys,
great timing too. I mean, it's getting to be warm weather. Hopefully, we're past the cold spell and we're into the warm part of spring, getting close, and people can come out and watch some good high school baseball. I mean, there's plenty of it around. Come on out to some games.
Yeah. So you guys are 2-0. I guess you want to say 2-0, but you had a scrimmage today, so that's kind of weird. You guys are 2-0, but you had a scrimmage, and I guess the leagues in Harford County are still trying to figure out what they're doing, right?
Well, we don't count scrimmages towards our record. We view those as, again, like I said, opportunities. So they're not for the record or any of that stuff. We've played 2 games with Boys Latin and Indian Creek, and then we've had 3 scrimmages. So that's why you have the 2-0 there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this week you're going on the road down to, looks like, Virginia, playing.
Tomorrow we're hosting Broadneck. Varsity is coming to us. Our JV program is going to be heading down there, and looking forward to hosting them and getting to compete with them. And again, giving guys opportunity to show what they can do. Then on Saturday we have a game with St. Paul VI down in Virginia. So we'll be down there on Saturday.
Okay. That's cool. So you got a lot of baseball ahead of you, and hopefully the weather, keeps, like this today, 73 degrees out and beautiful out, and
great.
Even the computer was happy on that one.
Yeah, everybody's happy with warm weather, even the computer.
I do want to ask you about a game you guys are going to come up on April 2nd. A former player, you guys had, at your school tragically died in what was it, a car accident, or he had what happened? Explain to the folks, Joshua Hammer, who you guys having a memorial game. It helps, helps out his family with just explain to folks what happened.
Sure. No, I'm happy to do any chance I have to talk about Josh and the Hamer Scholarship and the legacy of Josh and what we're trying to do to maintain and continue that and honor that. Out of tragedy, we've been able to really create something that honors him as a young man and his legacy. Josh passed away in a car accident on his way to school one morning in 2017. And obviously devastating to our whole community, to the baseball program, to his brothers, his teammates. I miss Josh every day. I was lucky and honored that I got to coach him. And so out of that, Miss Jen, Josh's mom, came to me and to the school and said, the community has just been so great in helping with funeral costs, and we have left over. We'd like to start a scholarship fund in Josh's name for incoming players or transfer players to come to the JohnCarroll School as sort of that bridge, right? Every private school has a tuition. Sometimes that's prohibitive with some families to be able to come, where maybe they've been dreaming of, I want to be a Patriot and I want to come to JohnCarroll, but they may not have the financial means to do so. So the scholarship was set up in order to bridge the gap with what the school is offering in financial aid and what the family can afford. And so in order to fund that scholarship, every year we have events to honor Josh's legacy. And one of them is the tournaments that we hold in the fall. So, if there are any youth coaches out there that are interested in joining and being a part of the Hamer tournaments, we'd love to have you. We do a 13U and a 14U. We're thinking about expanding into a 15 and also maybe doing some other stuff with some youth tournaments as well. But the proceeds from those tournaments all go directly to the Hamer Scholarship Fund. We also do, and this year we're very excited, Coach MichaelNaunton is a good friend of mine and a phenomenal coach and a great mentor to the young men in his program at Loyola. So I asked if he would be interested in joining us this year for the game at Ironbird Stadium. And the folks at Ripken and the Ironbird staff and Jack Graham and his crew have just been phenomenal. They came to us and said, hey, we'd like to offer our facilities as a place to showcase your boys and allow them to have an experience of playing, and also to help in what you guys are doing to honor Josh's legacy. And they've been just wonderful. For that year, they had number 25, which is Josh's number, which is retired at JohnCarroll. That was a sewn-on patch at the Ironbirds for that season. That jersey will be in the dugout with us every year that we play there. That jersey gets in the dugout, comes in the dugout with us. We like to say that Josh is always the 10th man on the field with us every day. So out of that tragedy, we've been able to set up, I think, a rather fitting legacy scholarship to honor Josh and his memory and kind of young man he was, and the game that he loves to play, which was baseball, right? So this April 2nd, which would have been Josh's 21st birthday, so it's on his birthday, Saturday, April 2nd. Anybody that would like to come and watch a good high school baseball game, where the JohnCarroll Patriots will be taking on Loyola Blakefield Dons at 3:30 is the JV game. At 7 p.m. is the varsity game. $5 a ticket. All the proceeds go to the Joshua Hamer Memorial Scholarship Fund. And the ticket will get you in for both games and all night. And come watch some baseball and grab a hot dog and a drink and cheer on your team and just enjoy the evening and count your blessings and be with family and have fellowship with your community and our community and celebrate for Josh as we get to play a game that he loved so much. And hopefully we'll honor him by playing the game the right way, the way that he did. So.
And I was just taking a quick look at the weather for the rest of this week. It's supposed to be in the upper 60s, low 70s for the majority of this week and part of next week. So it looks like it should be pretty good baseball weather.
Yeah, like we can't wait. This time of year is like Christmas, so warm weather. I walked out of my house this morning. I saw crocuses and daffodils. So we're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, I found a website. If folks want to go to it, you can go to the Capital Gazette. Put something out. I think it looks like a couple of years ago. I can't remember. I don't see it. I don't know what the dates on it. But it was a nice website they put up. It was. I think it was this year. I think they did it this year or whatever. But has all the jerseys from Joshua and pictures and and it's pretty cool that the Capital Gazette did that for you guys.
Yeah, our community at JohnCarroll is pretty phenomenal, and we really rallied together in that tragedy and continue to do so. So,
yeah, and if people want to go get tickets, they can go to the Ironbirds box office, right? And they get them, and
they can. Yep. You can just go right to the ticket box office for the Ironbirds, or if you go to any one of our social media platforms for JohnCarroll Baseball, there's also links there as well. So, give us a follow and go ahead and go get yourself a ticket for April 2nd. We'll see you at the Yard.
Yeah, I went to it a couple of years ago because I was up there, and I said, I want to see what. And it's really cool that it has it's a nice Ironbird Stadium is really nice and. The field is great. They keep that facility pretty well. Now it's artificial turf, so I haven't seen it since they switched it over to artificial turf. So that must be that must be going to be fun for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, they're a great group. It's a fantastic stadium. It's beautiful. So yeah, we're very excited.
And your field's pretty nice as well. You guys look like you upgraded that because I know when I was playing years ago, that black stuff was not around the home plate. I know that. Yeah.
No, that's all a part of some of the changes that are going on there at the JohnCarroll baseball program and the field and the school. We've got some projects that we're working on. We've just renovated the playing surface into a state-of-the-art turf field, and we're in the midst of finalizing some things for the stadium seating area behind home plate, and lights are coming here pretty shortly. So, just got to make sure that the supply chains get them here a little bit quicker. But, everybody's doing the best we can. And so we've got some upgrades that are going to continue to happen in the next year, 18 months, 24 months on a schedule that are pretty exciting.
Yeah. And plus the neighborhood around you guys, you're near the water company and all that stuff, and you got some houses in the back of. They must be getting ready for some lights in their backyard. They must be. They must be like, okay, go ahead, turn them on.
Yeah, the technology that they have now is pretty incredible. So they won't even be able to notice it really. I mean, they may look over and see lights, but it's not going to be like it's not the big old metal halide lights that they used to have. So it's it's going to be pretty low impact, which is great too. So I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Yeah, we go down to Southern Maryland one time to the Blue Crabs down there, and they were telling me the reason why they started at 6:05, because the people, the houses were around the ballpark started getting an attitude about how they were, the lights were on after midnight. I'm like, okay,
it wasn't because of that. It was because of the fireworks.
Oh, the fireworks. Okay, I thought it was the lights.
The game starts at 7:05 and ends at 10:30, and then they set off fireworks. That was the reason why they start the games an hour earlier than normal.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, I hope you guys have a safe week this week. Good luck with the games, and hopefully the weather stays perfectly for you guys. And I hope to make it out there for April 2nd. I got to see what my schedule is. So I'll keep in touch with you. Maybe I have to get a special pass. Maybe we could go watch the game or something at Ripken Stadium and see some good high school baseball.
Would be wonderful. We'd love to have you. Anytime that you guys want to come out to a game in the old stomping grounds of Hartford County, you just let me know. We'd love to
All
have
right.
you. And please do come to the Hamer game. We look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, we'll see what we could do, and we'll come up and we'll get some, we'll get some post game stuff, and we'll put it on the week later probably. We'll see what my
Great.
schedule is. I'll keep in touch with you. I'll email you back and forth.
Yeah, that sounds great. Anytime. Yeah, Chris, I really appreciate you having me on, and
That would work for me because it's a Saturday. I get off at 5.
Oh,
Game's
okay.
at 7.
Hey.
Yeah, we can roll up there.
We can roll up. If he gets off at 5, well, I probably work until in the morning, so we'll make it happen.
Hey, I'll plan on it.
Yeah. All right, I'll keep in touch with you. I'll let you know what's going on.
I really appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you so much. I really do.
All right, man. Have a great night.
Thanks. You too. Take care.
Have a good one.
See you.
All right, you too, buddy. Thanks.
All right, that's Chris Seiler, who was the baseball coach at JohnCarroll. So, folks, we have to end the show prematurely here because we were trying to get the coach from Archbishop Curley on, but he is still stuck down in D.C. With his bus broke down. Maybe we have to do a podcast of go down and pick him up. The Herb FM,
Herb
Uber.
FM on the road tour.
Yeah, or the Herb FM sponsor Uber.
Yeah.
We'll grab my dad's van and it's like, get on in there, buddy. So,
No, we'll just take your dad's Mustang. And
oh no. So
imagine the fireworks going off of that.
I can see. I'll be heading up to Canada. Yeah. I think Nicole will come with me because she. Yeah.
The
no,
look
really.
she's giving you is like, you're on your own, buddy.
Oh, I'm gonna be in Canadian by myself. That's nice. So, folks, tomorrow join us at special time at 4:00 for a very special edition of our Sports Talk. We get yourself ready for the NCAA tournament. I have some interviews I did this afternoon with Coach Mike Bray from Notre Dame. A couple of teams are playing tomorrow night in the first 4. They're playing. There's some teams are playing right now as we speak, and then we'll preview also the Delaware Villanova game, and then all that stuff as well. So tomorrow at 4:00. Thanks for joining us here on the program, and we'll see you folks all see you tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. Steve will see you next Tuesday, and George will be hopefully joining us next week. So hopefully everything's okay with George. So we'll keep in touch with him. We'll see you all next Tuesday night at 7:30.
Good night.
Good night.